like when I was younger, I didn't like think about my sexuality too much, but I felt different. So that was kind of something that I felt like you had to hide, which is, not the greatest thing. So to me, I think it's just more of like the acceptance aspect and like the like welcoming it before it has to be said, like before, people come out or say who they are, like it should be kind of a thing that's already a precedent set to like welcome people in like that. 33 years old. I quit my job recently and went back to school. So I'm at Lawrence Tech, which is in Metro Detroit, getting my architect's license.
Cool.
So that was a big change. Um, I played hockey since I was about 3, started, and then played through high school, and then in college just played kind of club, and I still play, just not that often anymore.
How did John get into hockey?
Well, I have 2 older brothers, so that was kind of how it started because they played. And then my mom's whole family is into it. Like my uncles all played, and then my like male cousins all played as well. So it was always something that we did, like especially growing up near Lake St. Clair. There's like you could always play on the lake. Like my grandparents lived on the lake, so my grandpa would always smooth it out for us so that we could play during the winters. So it was always just kind of a thing we did.
That's fun. What do you love about the sport?
I really liked being part of a team when I was younger, and I liked the routine of everything. I also just feel like it's more, I don't know, it's always more fun to play to me than like football or basketball or anything else. I never got into them just because it didn't feel as fun or like complex to me.
And I'm sure the family aspect is kind of nice too, right? Like getting to play with your cousins and your grandparents' house. Like that's really cool and memories you'll have forever.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's nice because we can still like, sometimes still play together because we still have access to that, but not as much anymore that we're older, but still there.
How could hockey be better for you and for the queer community?
Well, for me personally, like it was, I started playing in the 90s, so like I wouldn't say it's like not an accepting time, but it was not a time when you felt like you wanted to be different. So um growing up, I never really like when I was younger, I didn't like think about my sexuality too much, but I felt different. So that was kind of something that I felt like you had to hide, which is, not the greatest thing. So to me, I think it's just more of like the acceptance aspect and like the like welcoming it before it has to be said, like before, people come out or say who they are, like it should be kind of a thing that's already a precedent set to like welcome people in like that.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. So knowing that, it wasn't necessarily a welcoming place at times, what keeps you in hockey?
I think like, as I got older, I realized that people like were accepting and like I didn't
Yeah.
really encounter much. Luckily for me, I didn't really encounter much like hate or like discrimination put towards me because like in college when I played, like I was like people knew already, so
Cool.
it wasn't like a issue. So that was nice.
What gives you hope for queer people in the sport?
I noticed like especially in the NHL, like they're trying to do a lot more awareness, like on social media, and like making points to like they do like the pride stuff for like the hockey is for everybody. Um, so I think that's like a good point. And there was one of it was either coach or GM, I forget which team, a Canadian team, I think, that his son was gay and then he died.
Yeah,
You know
Brian
what I'm
Burke.
talking? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like him speaking out about like he would accept a gay player into his team. That's pretty cool. So just like putting the message out there.
I like that. Yeah, no, and Brian is a huge advocate and very outspoken on it. And Brendan was a wonderful human and would have been as outspoken, if not more. So it's really great. Is there anything else you want to add?
I guess just like if you love the sport, like keep playing it, and like people are more accepting than, like it's less scary, I think, than what we put in our minds. So like thinking outside of like how people judge, because not everybody is that way.
What do you think puts it in our minds?
I think it's just like the stigma, especially like being like in my 30s now, like just the era growing up and like people, you know, would use gay as like an insult, or like they'd use the F word or like slurs. So it's just like, and like you never really think about it as hate, but it's like, and they might not either, but they don't realize the impact that has, especially when people are questioning or are like not ready to come out yet. Like it's something that you just kind of have in your mind, like this might not be like the crowd that you want to be in, or like they might not want you around. So
Yeah, that seems to be a consensus that the language is problematic to the point where it, forces people to suppress or struggle with their sexuality.
right.
Well, John, I want to thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you sharing your story, and keep playing. And are you a Red Wings fan?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so
Well, I
sorry
mean,
for you.
yeah, they're pretty terrible right now, but
Yeah.
I hold
I
on hope.
Eiserman will turn them around.
That's what I'm hoping. Like we
Yeah.
got him back, so we'll see.
Yeah. He'll turn them around for sure. But thank you so much, and keep playing and keep being you. This is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.